like to call to order the Wednesday, September 17th, 2025 meeting of the Tenino Planning Commission. Let the record show that all commissioners are present. Okay, let's look at the agenda. Oh, were we?
I will move to
I'm sorry.
approve.
Let the record show that Will Bennett has not arrived yet. Apologies.
There we go. I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's take a look at the minutes from the August 13th meeting. Oh,
Nice.
William Bennett has arrived.
Minutes look good to me. I move to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone want to make a public comment not related to the public hearing tonight? Okay. Reports. Dave, do you want to do some swearing in at this point?
Finally.
Hi, yeah.
Well, this thing. I forgot. You were here. When I'm here, I'll end up here. Or you can stand here.
Yeah.
Okay, so raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Valerie Roberts,
I, Valerie
do
Roberts,
solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and the ordinances and regulations of the city of Tenino,
and the ordinances and regulations of the city of Tenino,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge the duties
perform and discharge the duties
Office of Commissioner, City of Tenino Planning Commission,
for the office of Commissioner for the Planning Commission of the city of Tenino,
position number 5,
position number 5,
according to law and to the best of my ability.
according to law and the best of my ability. Thank you.
Do you have a pen there she can sign? No?
Oh, I have a pen.
Oh, yeah, one.
Yay.
Yay!
All right.
Thank you. You have this pen for yours?
Sorry,
Yeah.
thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
That did not take as long as I had hoped.
Like the short and sweet.
Talk
Yeah.
slower.
So we can't start the public hearing until 6:30, unfortunately, because that's what we had advertised, and so we have some downtime, approximately 27 minutes. Sorry about that.
Do we have other things we can go over?
Well, I brought a packet full of questions.
Nice.
Excellent.
Do we want to do her update while we wait?
Do what?
Can we do that?
Are you presenting this? Do you want her to present this while we wait?
For the public hearing?
Is this part of the public hearing?
That is the public hearing.
Well, I knew that, but I wasn't. I knew we were talking about the comp plan. I didn't know if it was separate from the
I'm
public
sorry.
hearing.
Sure.
Do you have any idea when the next time we'll be discussing the Ag Park overlay?
Yes, with the development code update, so we should see it next month.
The next month, you think?
And is that when rezoning comes into play as well?
The zoning map, no, but the overlay language, yes. So
Gotcha.
we're not rezoning anything, we're adding an overlay district.
Sorry, I meant, I guess, to ask a better question. The, like, changing of what can go into zones. So, like, we discussed, like, what housing types were now allowed in certain zones.
Yeah,
Okay.
the land use
Yes.
Yeah, that'll all,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
all
Yeah.
development regulations that will be discussed, at that point,
Okay.
to see what we do and do not wanna, like, how we wanna move forward.
Gotcha.
And all that's gonna be done by the end of the year? Is it?
That's
That's
the theory.
the goal?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my goal, but, development regulations can like a little bit more, and since, we wanna make sure that we get that overlay correct, I figured we didn't have to do everything at the same exact time, so.
So there's not like a hard deadline for that stuff to be submitted or anything?
Typically, they like it to be within the same year, so, or like within 12 months, I should say, not necessarily that it has to be done by December.
Okay.
So the land use changes to like allow ADUs and everything, that's part of that development conversation? Okay.
Yep, yeah, all the overlay, the land use, zoning designations, all that, that's all in that.
Okay, perfect.
I will say, now discussing, I think that I'll need to update, and I'll say this in the meeting later, for the public hearing, I'll need to update the zoning map to reflect the overlay district, which is very easy, but that's the only change I will make to that map.
If anyone from the public would like to speak during the public hearing, please sign up at the table here. And then we'll call on you when it's time.
That's so funny. I printed out this one. Oops. One goal. I printed out the comp plan. I put it in a different notebook and then forgot the other notebook on.
Nice. Solid.
That's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
But you got your notes.
Yeah.
That's good.
I got lots of questions. All the good ones. But okay, I just want to ask this out before I ask it. The plan element's not updated, right? Like the entire conversation did not get.
I thought maybe I saw one or two
Okay.
that wasn't quite updated. And there's also
I think the climate element didn't get updated.
With our comments.
Yeah. But I don't know, and I didn't want to be like, did it not happen before I? Because
You would probably remember best if it's different when they
oh yeah. I'm gonna take a look really quick. Hang on.
Is this the gas powered?
okay, I literally saw that and I was like, okay, this did not get changed.
That would be the thing that I thought of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's
Wait a minute.
like require. No, that one we decided made sense. Oh yeah. Reduce emissions from emergency evacuations and disaster-related transportation. That one's still in there.
Yeah.
So some other changes at least are in there.
Oh, phase out the use of gas-powered landscaping equipment. I saw that and I was like, okay, now I have to look at this whole thing again.
Can't remember if we struck that completely or if we reworded it.
Changing back to
The time being 6:30 or 7,
or whatever the pink is called.
I mean,
Yeah, because it requires solar panels on all buildings with large rooftops.
Sorry.
It's a little cold. She'll turn it down if you want. Oh, they have a code. That's hilarious.
I try to do it on the computer, it's hilarious.
Sure. We got 20 minutes.
So part of the development code regulation update, we have to have within 12 months completed our critical area ordinance, which essentially the update needs to make sure that it's compliant with the 3 state agencies that regulate our critical areas. And so basically it's just updating it to be compliant with the best available science. The biggest thing is that fish and wildlife conservation areas the stream designations go away, and the new best available science is based off of site potential tree height. And so that changes the way that the buffer is designated, like for the width.
So along Scatter Creek.
Yeah, it's basically the thought behind it, and there's a map that Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife put out that basically takes if they have a measurement already, they put it in the map, so you can pretty easily go to wherever you need to check to see if there's one. If there isn't, it does require a forester or it can be a biologist, but it requires them to go out to the site and actually measure essentially the healthiest native trees within a certain proximity of the stream or the conservation area.
On a site-by-site basis.
Yeah. So it's a lot easier if we have the map and it's already mapped. It's a free online service because it's a state agency. But the bare minimum buffer in the code language that they're basing everything off of is a 100-foot buffer.
100 feet.
100 feet.
No.
So.
Which isn't crazy because I feel like a lot of buffers are 150.
A lot of buffers for like wetlands and those types of critical area designations tend to be 150 to 300 depending. Usually if the city's or the jurisdiction is more restrictive, then it can get up to about 300. Most jurisdictions stick around 250, 275 as their like most extreme buffer, but that's usually associated with wetlands. When we're talking about streams, it tends to differ. The problem is that or I wouldn't say it's necessarily a problem, the difference being that in the current regulations, if it's a non-fish bearing perennial stream, and it's relatively small, it typically has a much smaller buffer, and so it can be anywhere from I think 50 to 75 feet, because it's a very small stream. It doesn't have a lot. It's like non-fish bearing, so there's no salmonids coming up. There's not a lot of environmental considerations. That was the previous thought. However, now even that small stream is going to have a bare minimum 100-foot buffer, which just presents a different set of challenges for the city, essentially, and really just the planning department.
I think Scatter Creek is really the only stream in the city, and it is salmon bearing technically, so.
We have some tributaries that just go through that aren't, they're largely associated with just surface runoff, but if they're mapped, they have to be included. And so I actually just had a discussion with the Department of Fish and Wildlife in regard to underground streams, and they do also include underground streams, including if it was or is currently through a culvert. And so mitigation also has to occur for those, essentially, if for those streams. And so their recommendation is actually that, sorry, this light's like
Yeah, it's like right in your
there.
face.
Yeah. Their recommendation is essentially that if it is an underground stream, they want to see daylight being brought in somehow. And so essentially, like figuring out how to add stream to an underground or add sunlight to an underground stream. So
That'll be fun for Centralia, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, some jurisdictions are not having as much of a fun time. Tenino is not as much of a concern, but because I asked the question and we do have some of those, there is going to be some consideration in what we want to do. So when I spoke with Fish and Wildlife, they did say that there are ways that you can reduce it. Like the city can essentially choose to classify separately, but we have to have the science to back it up. So I think my recommendation at this point is going to be doing that. So like if there's any smaller streams that are running through properties or anything like that, that also don't have to be matched. They still count as a critical area. That we can actually reduce the buffer, but they'll have to do mitigation.
For new construction.
For any construction, it's any development. The only way around that essentially is if it's like internal remodel. There's no expansion to the residence or building. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, and there's recently, well, not recently, but I took a class on environmental law and the requirements for, what is it called? It's when, in planning, if you essentially have a property and it's all in a critical area, you're supposed to be able to
Reasonable
build.
use.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. I knew if I explained it enough, you'd probably catch on to what I was trying to think. Yeah, so the reasonable use exception doesn't actually just allow for single family residences, which is apparently a common misconception. That's even a thought that I've had, just a general understanding that most planners have. But I was talking with the lawyer who was leading the class, and they said that the reasonable use exception bases everything off of economic value. And if you can sell the property, then it has economic value. You don't have to add economic value to
Really? I feel like I've heard of Thurston County allowing for reasonable use on properties impeded by wetlands and that kind of thing.
Most jurisdictions, especially around here,
But that's
allow-
not legal, or is it?
It's not necessarily illegal.
You just don't get an outright exception.
Yeah, the thought previously was that reasonable use was that you get to do the thing. You might have to make a smaller house, or you might have to do something else, but you get to do the thing. Whereas now the actual understanding of it is essentially that maybe not. So if you can't mitigate for it, you can't essentially meet the code standards under the normal code, that you might not be able to meet the reasonable use exception. I don't think that we're going to run into that very often, and honestly, I would have a hearing examiner handle that one, as opposed to the planning commission or city council directly, because hearing examiners are impartial, or they're supposed to be. And so if it came down to that and somebody was asking to do something that the city was just against for some reason, not that I can see that would happen, but if that did, then we would just we would have it handled through a hearing examiner. But that's some of what we'll be talking about.
Okay. And that just needs to be done in the next 12 months?
Yeah.
Or by the end of 26, I guess.
Yeah, the goal is that we have it done by the end of this year.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, that's what I would like.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would like, but we have to have the critical areas ordinance and development regulations updated within 12 months of
Excellent. Well, that'll be interesting conversation.
It's my bread and butter, so it'll be really good conversation.
9 more minutes.
That kills a little bit.
That was pretty good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, I can talk about planning all day.
You said we're talking about the Egg Park overlay next month?
Yes, it will be included in the development regulations and update
Gotcha.
discussion.
Is it possible to ask if the EDC will come with?
I did ask Aslan to go be there.
Okay, perfect.
The next meeting?
If that's what if we're talking about the ag overlay,
Yeah,
park overlay, he will be here.
perfect. Because it'd just be nice if he's saying that regulations are stopping businesses from building in there.
He did provide some
Oh.
feedback that I got, Melissa got,
Okay.
but he's gonna come, so we can
Perfect.
talk about his edits basically.
Yeah.
to-
Perfect.
So are you guys from Tenino then?
Say that again?
Are you guys from Tenino?
Yeah.
Like born here, or?
Or no, just in the area? You
Like
live in
live
the
here?
area?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
Except for Stephen. And Matthew, he's still over there.
Yeah. I technically live in Tumwater, but I was born and raised here.
We expanded the area a bit because we can't find people. And do the same for our, what's it, Public Safety Commission, but it's the Civil Service Commission. It's hard to find people.
So,
Yeah, so we expanded that one to the school district boundary versus the city, the city limits, official city limits.
Can I ask just a very simple question? Where was the public hearing posted?
The Tenino.
The independent
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
and online.
Okay. I just didn't see it online, so I wasn't sure.
Oh.
But I might not have. Okay, perfect.
I guess that's it then.
Perfect. Thank you.
Generally, it physically has to be posted, usually it's city hall.
Yeah.
City Hall and
Yeah.
Independent.
The Independence, the paper of record.
Yeah. Which is so funny.
That's right.
so you guys been to the farmer's market then?
Yeah.
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 You got some more weeks?
Oh, nice.
I bought a bunch of green beans down there and made some dilly beans a couple weeks ago.
You get to do those?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, tomatoes, nice. My daughter loves the farmer's market. Craft food.
Yeah.
Still have a lot of tomatoes. Is that what you're saying?
It's coming, yeah, I'm getting lots of tomatoes. I picked, well, they picked 12 boxes the other
So you guys have 2 more weeks.
Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure when it was gonna end.
yeah, end of the month.
Nice.
So it's been a pretty big season this year for everybody, I think.
Yeah, the fruit's been like exploding around town.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huge trees.
Like good fruit is like the best thing about farmers markets.
Yeah.
Gosh. Very cool.
So what do you like the best about the market? Since I'm the president, I mean, we got time, I'm
You
just
got-
saying.
Okay. We've got 3 minutes.
I love it.
What do you love best about the market?
3 minutes, yeah.
You don't feel that, I'm the president, so you also entertain in class here. Put you on the spot.
I like that I can walk on the trail with my 4-year-old, and then we do it, and then we hit the library up, and then we go to the, it's like a whole, because it's so centrally located,
Right,
we get to
yeah.
do a whole bunch of fun stuff, and no car, like I don't have to use my car, which is, it's just so nice. So
Yeah.
it's like a whole, I like where it is, I like all the fruits and veg, and my daughter loves the kids' activity booth.
Good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like a whole
You
experience.
took up all of the.
It's
Sorry,
really
yeah.
good.
Sorry. I just led you through my Saturday. It was so good.
It's funny, I was gonna say the location too, because I just feel
Yeah.
like it's in such a good space that it's easy, the parking lot's behind all those buildings,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, I would just second the kids' activity stuff. It's, my son loves going to it too, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you guys like to find out the coupon for your kids?
Oh yeah, my daughter very proudly carries like a cabbage home. She never picks what I think she's gonna pick. It's funny.
Cabinet.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Well, I'm very adamant that it's the kids' money and not not the parents. I have to remind a few parents every once in a while. It's like, no, you don't get to tell the kids what you want, mom and dad. It's the kids' money. If they want broccoli or they want this, it's theirs.
Good.
Figure out what to do with it.
Good. I'm glad that you do that. It's so good for kids to pick up their own vegetables.
It's good policy if you want them to eat them.
Yeah, they're so proud of it.
All fun games till they're sleeping with the cabbage later.
Yeah.
You know what?
right.
That's fine with me. I'll take it.
Yes. No, we can't.
I like the crafts too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You get, you know, people make all their handmade stuff, you know,
Yeah.
from overseas, so.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, a variety.
I always know to pick up new things.
Mhm.
I think the biggest hit is the 3D printing.
Oh, I bet.
Ooh.
With those like little keychains and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, the trail just got fixed at
I
the
saw the
bridge.
picture on Facebook.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm glad because I was also looking at the bridge, going like, oh, it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's pretty
That's
sketch.
all- Yeah, I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
Which bridge? That wooden one?
Churchill, if you go further down,
Uh-huh.
that bridge had like a couple boards that was really unstable.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
Public Works went out and put a piece of plywood out there and redid the.
Let's go. Okay. We made it. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna call to order the public hearing. The purpose of this public hearing is to provide for public input and discussion of the proposed draft 2025 City of Tenino Periodic Comprehensive Plan Update. This public hearing and periodic update are intended to meet the requirements of the Washington State Growth Management Act, ensuring Tenino's plan remains compliant with state law. The plan update reflects current population projections and integrates community priorities for land use, housing, transportation, capital facilities, utilities, natural resources, and climate resilience. This public hearing will proceed in an orderly fashion, and I would like to ask your cooperation in this matter. Everyone present will be given an opportunity to be heard. Please ensure you sign in if you wish to provide comment. The clerk will be recording everything that is said. Before hearing from the audience, I would like to introduce Melissa Paulson with SCJ Alliance, the city's contracted planning organization, to present pertinent information about this comprehensive plan update.
Thank you. So the comprehensive plan update included two new elements, which were the economic development element and the climate element, and then included edits to existing elements to meet new state requirements, including the housing and land use chapters. So the economic development element, while it's listed as a mandatory element, it is not required. However, we have completed it to get ahead of State Growth Management Act requirements. It is not required because the state didn't provide extra funding for that chapter specifically, but because Tenino is invested in the economic development and growth of our city, we wanted to make sure that that was included. It provides a strong base for future updates and minimizes rewrite needs. And we will, if the state does provide funds in the future to update it, we'll be able to request those funds and update accordingly. The climate element is also a new state requirement. It includes use of best available science to reduce climate impacts and strengthen resiliency, prioritizing benefits for overburdened communities, protect natural areas and habitats for species migration, support community resilience across social, economic, and built systems, and address hazards including flooding, wildfire, heat, drought, sea level rise, and smoke. The nice thing about the climate element is that the Department of Commerce worked really hard to make it as streamlined as possible for cities to include this new element. We also got additional funding to make sure that we did it right the first time and then can update accordingly as updates are required. The biggest legwork for the climate element was really going through and understanding what hazards are actually present for the city of Tenino, which are a lot more than we would think, and they've been laid out in this new climate element to ensure that all of our residents and anybody who utilizes Tenino and reads our comp plan will understand what the hazards are for our city. So the climate element was created out of House Bill 1181 in 2023. It added a climate goal to the Growth Management Act, requiring local jurisdictions to prepare the climate element as part of their comprehensive plan. So the new climate element really explains what climate change is, explores the conditions and trends of climate-related hazards in Tenino, evaluates those challenges and opportunities for increasing resilience to climate change, and sets goals, policies, and objectives, and identifies actions the city can take to increase resilience to climate change. One thing that I would like to point out is that a lot of times when climate change is kind of thought of as we think about it in the future, but really what it is it's hazard mitigation. We know that wildfires exist. We can see the Bear Gulch fire from Thurston County, right? So we know that they're close by, that we have to consider these. This flooding exists. We have issues with flooding in our city. Those are things that are impacted or that impact our city, and that we have to understand if they're going to get worse or better, whatever is going to happen. We don't know. It's a change. And so we want to make sure to stay on top of that, and this really just allows for us to be better prepared. And if we're better prepared, if something does happen, then it's going to reduce the impact to our residents. So edits to existing elements include the land use element, which replaced the existing sections with new ones to meet new state requirements, including population and demographic update, land capacity analysis, and environmental constraints. We also updated the goals and policies to comply, which really was just about enhancing quality of life, increasing which was finalized in 2023. Updated our future housing needs and then expanded the affordability section. And then in the transportation element, we included 12 goals for multimodal improvements, including walkability, trail connectivity, and safety, aligning capital project priorities with concurrency requirements. The biggest thing for transportation, and what we really saw throughout the transportation capital facilities and utilities elements, was making sure that the priorities of Tenino are within the comprehensive plan, which is a lot of walkability, economic development, making sure that, you know, the pedestrian safety, things like that, and making sure that those goals were identified and included. And then we also, in the capital facilities and utilities element, we updated facility inventory, so just ensured that all of the city's facilities were included, which is always in the comprehensive plan. And then we also identified funding sources and capital improvement programming, and then additionally, in, I believe it's the capital facilities chapter, we added like a page and a half of links and essentially people or programs or local agencies that people can go to or the city can go to for potential funding or assistance in outreach. And that was all I had for today.
All right. Okay. This time, the floor is open for comments from the audience. In fairness to all those in attendance, each person will be given an opportunity to address the commissioners for an initial period not to exceed 3 minutes. If more time is needed, it will be made available after everyone has had a chance to speak. The clerk will now, in order presented on the sign-in sheet, announce the names of those who wish to speak. When you address the commission, you must be at the podium. Please speak directly into the microphone and begin by stating your name and address. The commissioners are asked to hold their questions until prompted.
First on the list is Jennifer Coleman.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Colvin, 16816 Old Highway 99 Southeast, just outside of Tenino. Thank you so much for holding this public hearing for comments on the comprehensive plan. I had a chance to review the plan today, and one of the things that was notable to me were there were several instances where the plan discussed the potential of expanding Tenino's urban growth area. And one thing that I would encourage the Planning Commission to do is to really look at more opportunities for infill development within the existing boundaries of the UGA. I think that there are a lot of opportunities for the city of Tenino to meet its goals around smart development, livability, quality of life, and environmental impact by looking at more infill development rather than necessarily looking at expanding the UGA, extending development and sprawl, and developing our agricultural lands that already exist on the borders of the existing UGAs. So I just would encourage you to look more at those infill development options, because I feel like we have a lot of opportunity for that within our existing city. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Does anyone else wish to speak? Okay. Sounds good. Let's see. Where are we? Commissioners, do you have any questions for the audience or staff?
Can I ask Jennifer one question? So if we have to look at UGA expansion, one of the conversations was going down Mima Acres Road. Is that something that you'd be not necessarily in favor of, but would that make you more comfortable in the concept of UGA growth?
Yeah, I'm not a resident on Miami Acres, and I'm sure that the folks there have a lot of strong opinions about that. So what I think about, though, is though I do have a presence at the Tenino Agriculture Innovation Park. We have a retail store there, and we are also in the process of developing a USDA meat processing facility. And so when I think about the future for the ag park there and the development that's happening, we want to make sure that any sort of other residential development isn't going to be in conflict with that, right? So we've already got the ag park there. We've got it zoned for basically agricultural, industrial development. And so where I would start to have concerns is if we're putting some intense residential development that's next to some of these, agricultural facilities that are happening. I don't think folks necessarily want to see a really, high density residential neighborhood that's next to a meat processing facility, or any of the other supporting industry or activities that will happen around that.
Gotcha.
That makes
you.
sense.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It would threaten the uses that we're establishing now to allow that, I think so.
And to the point of the discussion that was happening earlier around the buffers with streams, with Scatter Creek running through there, I'm sure that would come into play as well. Any of the buffers that would be need to considered around that. So, because right now Miami Acres is it's a 1-5 rural residential, right? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Now would be appropriate time for
Okay,
you to begin
perfect.
your questioning.
Okay, so I went through the whole comp plan this weekend and have lots of questions. Most of them just overarching questions. Hold on, I have to read my notes. Okay, we answered those two already.
I like it when that happens.
Me too. Okay, page 18. It talks about a Tenino Street tree plan. Is that something that has been updated recently? Is that an old document?
I believe that is an old document.
Because I just don't want to reference something that is going to be out of what the community wants now.
Yeah, and my understanding is it's an older document put out by Public Works, or previously adopted by City Council. I think I have.
Is that not included in the appendix still?
It
It includes some of those hand-drawn design element sort of stuff of the downtown.
Yeah, the downtown plan is in the appendix.
I think that's where it comes from, if I
and
remember right, but.
I think you are correct. But I do also recall that we may have had something more formal as far as the street tree plan.
Okay.
I will double check, and if I can't find something, then I will remove that.
Okay. Oh, okay, perfect. On page 32, we're talking about hold on. I'm not 100% sure if this is the right space to put it, but we had a lot of conversation around some of our areas still being on septic systems, and I would love for us to have some sort of goal that is just promote the conversion of remaining septic systems to city sewer to protect the wellhead. And I thought this might be a decent place in 32, 33, because it talks about enhancing critical resources and habitats, but I don't know if that's the best place to put it. But I know we had a lot of conversation about that, and there's a lot of hindrances to forcing them to move over because of state law, but
Still be a goal.
yeah, definitely something we promote.
I could definitely add something in there in regard to it. I would likely double check there's not something already existing in either
Okay.
the capital facilities or utilities, probably utilities.
Okay.
Section for a goal for that. I don't remember off the top of my head, we have goals and
Yeah.
policies. But if there's not one already existing, then I can definitely add one.
Okay. Sorry, I have a lot of questions.
It's all right. That's why we're here.
Because this is the 20-year planning document, a lot of things could change. So I'm interested in
Page 47.
yeah, sorry, page 47. In the housing element, looking at just some sort of, what I wrote is explore options to join the Thurston Regional Housing Council. There are a lot of steps that would have to take place, and that may not even be something the city is interested in the next 20 years, but the Regional Housing Council does do a lot of funding of low income housing, and if that's something that we have to start providing, that might be an option. There's a lot of things that come into how the Regional Housing Council works, but just potential goal.
I mean, we can just add a pretty generic goal to essentially work with the Thurston Regional Housing Council, and then that kind of like automatically underlies that, okay, try to meet those goals to
Gotcha.
work with them.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Is everyone else okay?
Sure.
Page 48, HS 5.3, it says develop partnerships with intercity transit to expand bus routes to additional areas of the city. Intercity transit doesn't come this far, but rural transit does. So I don't know if we want to just take that goal out, or if we want to change it to rural transit, or change it to just transit providers.
My recommendation would be to change it to just bus transit or.
Make it more generic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it more generic.
Yes, yeah.
Makes sense.
On page 55, it gives a list of economic development resources, and I think this is awesome. Could we add the Tenino Chamber of Commerce into this?
Good one.
And maybe Experience Olympia and Beyond too, because they do a lot of marketing. I know it includes the Bountiful Byway, but
Oh, as like their own, okay.
yeah.
Tenino, I'm sorry,
Chamber of Commerce.
thank you.
And then on page 56,
When?
56.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's worth adding, but the community development block grant right now is done through joint partnership with the county, Tumwater, Yelm, Rainier, and Bucota. I don't know if that's worth mentioning because it says administered by the Department of Commerce, or if that's just the like generic.
This is the generic.
Okay.
I can add the one for the regional one.
Oh, either way. on page 63, we talk about bridges. Two questions. One, what is the bridge over by the elementary school considered in this?
I'll be honest, I have zero idea. This
Okay.
was taken from the previous comp plan.
Okay. Because
It's this one.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like that bridge got remodeled when, not to age myself, but when I was in elementary school. So like 10 years ago.
It has been remodeled since I moved here for
Yeah.
sure.
But that one says that it's the oldest, so I just wanted to double check this data.
The
was-
oldest one, yeah, actually, this is probably referring to the one on the other side of town.
That's what I was also wondering.
That's the oldest one, out 99 towards the Colvin.
So is that Morningside Drive?
No, Morningside Drive is over here. If you go out to the corner where the auto parts store is and keep going straight
Yeah.
though,
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
and then you go under the trestle or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
over
yeah,
there
yeah.
somewhere. That's Morningside Drive.
Okay. Yeah, and that's not McDuff.
No, that's not McDuff. McDuff is the one that is,
Yeah.
going out 143rd or whatever.
Sounds like we need to add a bridge.
Or
Yeah.
We need a
map-
second
a map of it.
99 bridge, old
Yeah.
Highway 99 bridge, the one over there by the
By the elementary
school.
Okay.
Yeah, because looking through this, I was like, there has been one that's remodeled recently.
That is interesting that it's not in there.
Yeah. Because I wonder if it used to be a culvert and then became a bridge.
Oh.
I think it was a bridge. Does anyone remember when they last remodeled that bridge going out of town towards the north? I don't.
Down here,
Yeah.
by the school?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the same time I know this. It
Yeah.
hasn't been that long ago, but I don't know
Yeah.
the exact.
yeah,
I think of all of them, that would be the newest one,
yeah.
Yeah.
One goes over Scatter Creek.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad it got remodeled. That's good.
And then if possible, and I just feel like working in the world of policy, anytime we can call out a challenge that we're having, it allows us to like apply for grants or all that stuff later. Could we add something like one of the challenges with our bridges is that state and local funding doesn't cover bridges under a certain length? I feel like that is 100 feet, I've learned, but I can't not remember.
I can look that.
We'll just make it longer then.
It's true. Yeah.
Just taller.
Just
Easy
get a
fix.
really sketchy tape measure.
So,
Dr. Seuss
you want to
bridge.
add? Say it again. What you want to add?
Add a challenge that mentions that there's no local or there's no state or federal funding.
In this area.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
that calls out or that. Yeah, basically calling out the challenge that there's no state or federal funding for bridges under a certain length, which makes it really hard when every culvert has to be replaced with a bridge, but then there's no maintenance costs for
Nice.
either. Okay.
That's a good one.
In page 74-ish area, it talks about this being a three-way to several areas. Again, for the sake of urging the legislature to give us money eventually, could we talk about the traffic burden that happens when I-5 is shut down?
Oh, yeah.
With this being the state highway. I'm just setting this up for a lot of money, folks.
Good.
I don't know when it's coming, but
Yeah, I don't know when it's coming either. We'll see. Got their own issues.
don't we all?
Mm.
page 83, 85, and 87 are just missing details of like the schedule or the estimated cost.
Yes, I will reach back out to Public Works.
Okay, perfect. I assume that's what is missing. Oh, same thing with page 92.
Okay.
And then we've had this conversation before, and I'm curious because it's talked about here. Does the city, sorry, page 93. I'm just curious if the city of Tenino actually collects impact fees.
It's a great question. I will be honest, I didn't add this section. One of my associates did. I feel like we took it out.
Okay.
So I will. No, you're good. I was gonna ask you. I don't think we.
I don't believe it. I mean, I know like we require sidewalks and some stuff when we do some developments, but I don't think there's actually any impact fees that I'm aware of. Like, you know, you might normally collect for schools or fire departments where they
Yeah.
break equipment. I don't remember.
I haven't
I don't think so
heard
either.
of any. So I will just remove that section.
Okay.
Does that mean we couldn't do it in the future?
No,
Okay,
that we still have the option. It just means
Yeah.
that we don't have that section in the thing,
Yeah.
or in the comprehensive plan.
It would be an interesting conversation to have, maybe council level, because you can do park impact fees, which can help with expansion of some of the stuff at the park. If you have plans for, I don't know, a roundabout or a widening of a street, I don't know that we're gonna widen the street anyway, but
Yeah.
some of the impact fees can be used for that.
I believe that the GMA checklist requires that we have a discussion about impact fees in here, so I will double check that requirement and include language about the potential. And I think the question with that is, would you want to see it before you make a decision? This is a planning commission question. Would you want to see that language beforehand, before it goes to city council? And therefore, we can't make a decision today. We have to essentially say that the public hearing is continuing to next month, and then make a formal decision next month when I have a different draft in front of you.
Is this the only change that you've heard so far that would require that?
Yes.
Okay.
And it doesn't require it, it's just whether or
Yeah.
not you guys would want to see that language before it goes to city council, or if you, this is gonna sound weird, trust me, but I'm gonna put the language in there. You don't have.
Some missing
Yeah.
numbers, it
It's
sounds a
not
little weird, I
It's
don't
not a trick question.
know.
It's just
Yeah.
asking if you wanna see it beforehand or not.
I guess to answer the whole question, the climate element, which is the next set of questions I have some concerns of some of the wordings. So I think I would prefer to have it come back with those rewordings. So I think at the same time that can come back, if that's okay with everyone.
Fine with me?
Does that put, what does that put our timeline at then? Because the city council is gonna be pressed when it comes to getting the public
Yeah.
hearing, I think.
We don't have a second meeting in December typically. We have to be by the first meeting.
It just
First
gets
meeting in
pushed out.
December.
And it's our budget time.
It's
Personally, I don't
the.
feel like we are at a place where this is finalized enough to send it to the council. And part of me says that this is our job to inform the council that it's complete. And if it's not complete, I don't feel comfortable saying send it to the council. even if the council's gonna have a hard time.
Can I weigh in? The Department of Commerce's real concern is just making sure that it is formally adopted soon.
Hmm.
That's their biggest concern, and so we provide them updates on a regular basis, and so as long as they see that we are trying to get it there, and we are actively working on it and making sure that it is where we want it, that's what they want.
I'm sure they don't want us to shortcut the process just to get a deadline.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It would make, so so we can push that deadline of December 31st then?
Yeah, the deadline is mostly with just the funding sources, so if you push it, then, one, we're already past the funding source question, so I'm basically just paid as the contract planner currently. So that's not really an issue, because we've already asked for all of the funding for the comp plan currently, and then we have extra funding that we're asking for the climate plan. None of that should be impacted, because the way that we've written the contracts is that we provide them with an update and a deliverable as soon as we can, essentially. So we've already written it into the language, and with the help of the Department of Commerce, that we have leeway in that final adoption. The goal, of course, is to try to get it adopted by the end of December. However, it's not going to impact us for like a financial consideration, essentially.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is no impact if we don't, okay.
Yeah.
Then I would be supportive of
Perfect.
bringing it back again next month, yes.
Yeah, simple.
Well, and then they have November and December to squeeze it in.
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
that was really funny.
No, is it? Okay,
Perfect.
carry on. Do you
Okay.
have more? Yeah.
The climate element, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but I don't think it got updated from our conversation last month.
Like I grabbed the wrong one.
I think so.
Okay, I can definitely look at that.
Because a lot of the goals and policies are a lot of the things that we removed or changed out.
Okay, yeah.
What time page does that start on?
That starts at 108 to 115.
Okay, that's exactly what
Yeah.
happens.
As soon as I saw
updated-
phased out gas power equipment, I said, nope, Adam ain't having that.
Not having it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. So I will add the correct one and provide you an updated draft with with everything that's changed since our last discussion.
Perfect.
So I do apologize about that.
Oh, no worries. And then on 106 and 107, we talk about climate objectives. And some of them, I just love that they're ambitious, but some of them are too ambitious.
Did we talk about that last time?
I think we did.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so is that probably just the wrong addition too?
I would say, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we talked about that in quite length, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, regarding the measurable targets
Yes.
and changing the language in regard to those.
Perfect.
So I know that I have notes on it, and I have an updated draft that just wasn't attached to this PDF.
Okay, perfect. All right. And those are all my questions.
Well done. Thank you.
Thanks.
Other commissioners, do you have any comments? Since we're continuing, I guess we'll have opportunity to send any additional questions to Melissa, hopefully in the short term before next meeting.
Yes, yeah, and any public comments that come in can be sent to me as well, and I will consider them, preferably as long as they come in before 2 weeks prior to the next meeting. We are not legally required to notice as long as the the planning commission votes that they're going to continue the public hearing and essentially take it up at the next planning commission meeting to make a final determination after the the new draft has been reviewed.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
I move to do that.
Move to continue
Make,
the public hearing.
make a motion to continue
Yeah.
the public hearing on the comprehensive plan
To next
the
month.
next meeting.
Yep, and
Yes.
make
I'll
formal.
second
Where we
that.
will vote.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
Perfect.
Okay, with that,
Sorry, can I ask one question?
yes.
Can we post about that on social media, just on
Yeah.
like the city Facebook page, that we're gonna have opportunity for public hearing next month?
We'll put it on our website.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
idea.
Update the website.
And I think if you can find ways to make the draft plan more accessible, it's pretty buried on the site. I had to have somebody help me at the Chamber of Commerce meeting today find it. So I'll post it in additional places.
Maybe we can put a link on the front page of the city website or something that's real obvious, like since it's the pressing business, I guess.
That's what I did on my, when I posted on my Facebook page, I just
Yeah.
got the link and put it right on there, so you can just click one place and it'd be there. We should do that on our website too.
It's a
so-
good
Yeah,
idea.
once we get it, we can get Jessica to research that.
Yeah.
Try to get it to you as soon as I can.
Great.
Okay, so I guess that's all we have, I'm sure, for the agenda. So with that, I guess I will say meeting adjourned.
Oops.